start to set an intention for why we came to class today. As we're sitting here, start to feel the air come in through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. So it's inhale, fill the lungs, fill the belly, and exhale it all out. Try a few more of those breaths here. And as we exhale, I want you to focus on squeezing your belly as tight as you can. So big inhale, fill the lungs, chest, ribs, belly, and then exhale, draw the belly button to your spine. Do it all again. So gathering that air, lifting up, big inhale to the top, press the shoulders down away from our ears, exhale, bring it all the way down. Big inhale up, press it down, and exhale here. On your next inhale, I want you to hold it up at the top, clasp your fingers, reach as high as you can, up and back. Next exhale brings it out forward. Feel yourself separate your shoulder blades here. Deep breaths in and out. And then near next inhale, we're going to bring our elbows back and down, really opening up our chest. Give me one more deep squeeze back of the shoulder blades. I'm going to have you reach your hands as far as they can out. So you feel inhale to lift the rib cage, exhale as we twist. Tapping our fingers down to the ground, lift up, bring it back through the center and to the other side. Tap it down, lift up, feel the rib cage go up and twist side to side. Down and lift. So really starting to feel yourself warming up your spine as we're here. And next time we're over to the right side, I want you to hold it over to the right and look over your back shoulder. So keep going on right here. I'm just gonna move a little bit closer for you guys. So really feel yourself twist through the whole spine. Unwind it here and let's take it all the way over to the other side. Tap it down to the left, shoulders roll back, gaze over the back shoulder. And for those who've taken my classes before, this is Ophelia. She always likes to jump in. One more deep breath here, and then we unwind, bring it back to the center. Reach your hands as high as you can. Lift the rib cage up and stretch forward over our legs. You're reaching as far forward as you can in that cross-legged position. And then we're going to walk our hands over to the front right corner of our mat, sitting back into our hips. Walk it back through the center and take it to the other side. Sit it back nice and low. Find yourself walk through the front again one more time. Sit it back nice and low here. And then we're going to roll over onto our knees, so we're going to be on all fours. So as we're here, our knees are directly underneath our hips. Our hands are directly underneath our shoulders. We're going to take a big inhale, drop our hips to the ground. Gaze goes up. Exhale, round belly button to spine, chin to chest. And going through your breath cycle here. So arching down as we inhale, exhale, round our spine up. Take these at your own breath cycle, your own pace here. Then we're just going to get right into our work, working our glutes. I'm going to have you find a nice flat back here. Shoulders press away from your ears, and we're going to extend our right leg behind us. We're going to lift it up to hip height and then drop it right back down. So exhaling on the way up, inhaling on the way down. Think about keeping a nice flat back, nice strong spine as we're here. Really allowing yourself to squeeze in the glutes, controlling up and down. As we're here, I'm going to have you start to change the direction so it goes up. It crosses behind to the back corner of your mat, brings it back to the center, and then taps it out to the side. So it's making a big triangle on the floor, all without letting the back drop. I want you to think about keeping that flat back as we go up and down with our legs. We're going to be in this position for a little while now. So if you want to come up onto your fists or down to your elbows, you can also do that. If it's a lot on your wrists, you can also turn them out to the side. And let's hold it in the center right here. I'm gonna have you flex your foot, bend the knee, point the toe, extend it out. So flex, in, point, extend. Flex, in, point, extend. All without letting that belly drop. So making sure the glutes are engaging here. Core is nice and tight. Holding it right here, pulse it up. So just some glute work, really warming up that posterior chain so that all the muscles in the back side of our body. And as you're here, I'm going to have you extend the legs straight out. Opposite arm comes straight out as far as we can go. And I want you to find yourself in this bird dog, holding here. So whatever leg is kicked back, that opposite arm is reached, making yourself as long as possible. So using your core to find your balance and breathe. Find your focus. Exhale, bringing the knee in to meet the elbow, and then extending it straight back. A lot of times people want to round and arch their spine. I challenge you to keep the spine still and just move the limbs. We're going to hold it straight back, find that hip height again. The arm that's in front is going to reach behind, circle for the shoulder, reach for the toes, and take it back. So working the hamstring to bring everything in nice and close, and then take it right back out to that straight line. Next time we're back, I'm going to challenge you to try to hold on to the big toe or the outer part of our foot and lift. If it's not available to us, just reach back as far as you can and have your gaze over towards your toe. If we wobble, that's okay. Shows we're trying. Reach it back out. See if we can find that bird dog. Hands come down. We're going to curl our leg that's on the ground here. And we're going to extend up, finding our first three-legged dog. If that means you got to drop and then lift it back up, you can lift it back up. So the leg that's in the air, feel yourself lift the heel as high as you can. Hips are square. Heel on the ground presses into the floor. Take a big inhale to prepare. Exhale, bringing that knee through our hands, placing it on the ground. We're going to go into our modified pigeon. So what we have right here, the leg that's in the front, we're trying to bring that heel forward and hips are in between the legs. So trying not to sit on the front hip, but find your way in the middle. So as we're here, feeling yourself sitting up nice and tall, really starting to rock into the back hip to really feel yourself open up through the glutes. Depending on what our lifestyle looks like right now, if we're sitting a lot or if we're doing a lot of our at-home workouts, stretching our glutes is key right here. So making sure we're getting that nice strong stretch. If it's available to you, we're going to walk our hands out in front, either forearms on the ground or hands come straight out. However that feels okay for you. We're feeling ourselves stretch, glutes are nice and tight. Feel yourself really start to extend through the back leg as well. Feeling yourself find a straight extension through the hip flexor of the opposite leg. One big inhale in, and exhale, we walk it right back. Hands placed on the ground. Back toes curl underneath. Find that three-legged dog. It extends all the way up, meets the other foot. Knees come to the ground, stretch back through the glutes. But here you can give yourself a nice little roll of the wrist. You can rock side to side of your head, really loosen up the neck muscles as well. We're going to rise forward. So what we do on one side, we have to do to the other. So the opposite leg takes it right back. We lift up to hip height and drop it right back down. So exhaling up, inhaling down. Your challenge here, once again, is trying not to let the belly drop. We want to keep everything nice and strong, nice and tight through the core, and isolate the leg that's moving. Finding the pace that works with your breath cycle. Here, we're going to bring it up to hip height, cross our body, bring it back to hip height, tap it back out to the other side. So it's up, cross, up, tap out. So making that same triangle each and every time, exhaling up, inhaling down to the other side. I challenge you to really squeeze the inner thighs together to get your leg as far across your body as you can. And next time we're out at hip height, I want you to just hold it here. Flex the foot as hard as you can. Bend the knee, point the toe, extend it out. So flex, in, point, extend. Flex, in, point, extend. So here we're starting to isolate the hamstring here. So the knee stays at the same height. Hamstring curls. Hey, Nick. Welcome to class. So coming in right in, holding it in. Feel yourself really bring the heel into the glute and start to pulse up. Just 1 inch at a time. Lower back check. Are we arched? If we are, start to round it forward just a little bit to have that flat back structure. Hold it to the top. Extend it straight out. And finding your challenge of trying to lift the opposite arm as leg as far as you can, making the longest line from middle finger to big toe. Who wants to play too? Holding it right here. Your challenge right now. Bring your knee in to meet your elbow without rounding the spine. Extend it straight out. Exhale in. Inhale to extend. Isolating the arm and leg that's moving, trying not to go rounding an arch with our spine. Your challenge is to find that control. Next time we're out, let's hold it. Find that balance. Find your focal point right here. We're going to try to tap our fingers and our toes. I'm going to reach it right back to that center line. So bring it all the way back. Reach for that flexibility and then reach. So if it's not available for you to touch, that's okay. Just go as far as we can. But if it is available to you, I'm going to have you try to grab onto the outer part of your foot and lift everything up. So feel yourself stretch through the hip flexor, stretch through the quads, using the core to keep us balanced. Hold on, hold on. You got it here. Slowly start to release. Find that bird dog one more time. Hands come down. The knee that's on the ground. Curl your toes underneath, and we're going to lift our hips into our three-legged dog here. Pressing the heel into the floor, lifting the opposite heel up to the ceiling. Allow yourself to stretch through your calves. We're going to take one more big inhale, exhale, knee to chest. Hold for just a second through your plank, placing the knee and ankle on the ground, sitting up nice and tall for a modified pigeon. I don't know what's wrong with her. So coming straight forward, hips go between the legs here. So trying not to sit on the side, that everything is square forward. If it's available to us, forearms on the ground or all the way out. Really feeling that nice stretch through our glutes in the front, as well as our hip flexors in the back. Deep breaths in and out. Curling the back toes underneath. Lifting the back leg. Kick back through your three-legged dog. Really feel yourself stretch it out right here. Try to lift your heel to the ceiling, other one to the floor. Both legs come into your downward dog. Press your heels into the floor. Lift your hips up to the ceiling. Shoulders press to the floor as well. If your heels don't touch, that's okay. Let's start to pedal it out to stretch through our calves. We're going to place our knees on the ground right here and find your child's pose. Here's a good opportunity if you need to roll out in your wrists. Give them a nice little stretch and rock side to side. We'll walk our fingertips to the front right corner of our mat. Sit back into your left hip. Really allow yourself to open through the shoulders as well as your left hip socket. Hands walk right through the center and take it to the other side. Sit the hips back, release through the shoulders. We're also feeling a nice stretch down through the side of our back, so that's through our lats right here. Bring it back to the center again. We're going to rise up into our first high plank of the day. So as we're here, shoulders are over the wrists, knees are down for an option if we'd like it, or they can come right up. Here in this class, I'm going to have you shift your shoulders a little bit over your wrists this time. And we're going to go through a tricep push-up, which means we're going to bring our elbows into our rib cage, and we're going to push right back up. So option right here, coming onto your knees. Nice and slow, tuck the elbows in and come right back up. We're going to try for 3. After your third one, I want you to hold your high plank. I want you to squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core as tight as you can, shoulders away from the ears. And on your next big inhale, I want you to prepare, shift forward, coming down into that lower point and hover over the ground. We're not fully down, and we're not coming up right away. Knees are down for an option. We're squeezing everything in, staying nice and strong, hovering the floor. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Tell yourself yes. Slowly lower down to the ground if we're not there yet. Forearms down and baby cobra as we arch So flowing through our baby cobra right here, we're just going to exhale down, inhale, lifting up, shoulders away from the ears. So as we're going here, I challenge you to press up a little bit higher, but we really want to try to keep our shoulders down away from our ears as far as we can. If that means we come all the way up, we come all the way up. If we come just right here, that's all right as well. So allow yourself to stretch through the front of the body and engage through the back side of the body. Next time, we're going to hold all the way up as high as we can and shoulders down. Let's lift our gaze up to the ceiling. Allow yourself to stretch through the front of your body. And challenge the back of your body. Contract and stretch through. We're going to lift our hips up. Find your child's pose again. Give yourself that little roll of the wrist if you need to, because we're coming right back into our high plank. So we're just gonna hold it here. So we've seen this already. I'm gonna have you do just one push-up with me. So bring the elbows nice and in, get low, bring it right back up. Lift the hips this time and walk your hands back to meet your feet. As we hang down here, I want you to nod your head yes. Release all the tension in your neck, and then shake it no. And give me a nice little roll up. When we get to the top, give me a big inhale at the top. We're gonna do it all again. So roll it all the way down. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Walk out to your high plank. Knees are an option here. We're gonna do one tricep push-up. We go down, we lift up, hips to ceiling, bring it home. Rolling up to the top. Big inhale up. Exhale, chin to chest, roll it down. Inhale, walk out to your high plank. Exhale, shift forward like we saw before. Inhale to lower. Exhale to push. Inhale to walk back. Exhale to roll up. So try to use those at your own pace, your own breath cycle here. Find your challenge, find your options. Find what feels good for you. If we want to do more repetitions with our push-ups, we can do so there. Find what works and makes you feel challenged and strong. We'll go through about 2 more at our own cycle here. And after your second one, I'm just going to have you meet me at the back of your mat standing. So last week we did our sun salutations, and this week we wanted to do some Pilates push-ups just to change it up here. We're just going to meet at the back of our mat. So just stand up nice and tall at the back. I don't know why my cat's running around like that today. So stand up nice and tall. I'm just going to have you guys stand up onto your toes and then come back and rock back to your heels. So it's up to your toes and then back to your heels. So as we're here, one thing we don't want to see is that we're going back and forth right here. We want to keep everything still and tall. And then just feel yourself contract through the muscles next to your shins. So the tibialis right there. Feel yourself really start to contract to lift the balls of the feet up, and then use the calves to get up as high as you can onto your toes. When we're at the top, I want you to hold it. I want you to find your balance. Think of those high stilettos you can. I'm going to have you start to walk to the front of your mat. Then we're going to start to walk back. I'm like walking on the carpet, so I'm going to go front and back this way. But start to walk front and back. And I want you to try to engage the abdominals here so that we're not rocking side to side, so that we're staying nice and tall and square, making that straight line front and back as best we can. Think about being as high up on our toes as we can. And then next time you're at the back of your mat, I'm going to have you do it with your heels. We're going to walk on our heels. Usually it's a little bit easier going forward than it is back. A lot of times when we start walking backwards, we see this happen. I want you to think about staying nice and tall, being intentional with every step we take. Everything is nice and tall. We are strong through here. And next time we're in the center, I just want you to find all 4 corners of your feet on the ground. Stand up nice and tall. Bellies are tight, soft bend in the knees. We're going to lift our right leg up, balancing on our left. We're just going to hold it here. I'm going to have you kick it out and bring it right back in. Kick it out and bring it back. To help with our balance, you can also grab onto a chair or something close to you. It also helps to really feel yourself press down through the shoulders. Allow yourself to root down towards the ground. As we're kicking out, try to keep the knee at the same height the whole time, really utilizing the quad muscles here. The next time it's out front, I want you to just hold it out front, hold. And then we're gonna, almost like a teeter-totter, we're gonna swing it forward and find our warrior three. So what that's gonna do right here, we're gonna find that nice straight line. So from the tip of our head down to our heel, we're one straight line. It can be up here, or it can be all the way down, however it works for you. Hips are square to the floor, shoulders are square down. Find your gaze. As we're here, I'm gonna have you slowly bring the back toes down to the ground, rising up through our warrior one. So as you're here, you may need to shift back. I want you to think about hips square forward, hands reach up nice and tall. So allow yourself to come up. Extending through the spine, slowly lower the back knee down to the ground. And we're going to shift forward, feeling ourselves stretch through the front hip flexor. If you need to put a hand down or onto the ground, feel free. But we're going to extend all the way up, stretching the hips forward, working the ankle mobility, hip mobility, and a nice full lower body stretch. Big inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, we're going to pop the heel. We're going to reach down, stretching out through our hamstrings of our opposite leg. So as you're here, really trying to bring the toes all the way back to the shins and allow yourself to really think about a flat spine and bringing our chest down towards our shin rather than towards our knee. So really think about lifting and moving the rib cage forward. One more deep breath here as we stretch. And your exhale brings you forward one more time. Popping the back toes underneath, we're gonna lift back up into that lunge. Step both feet in together, and we're gonna find our first chair pose. So as we're here, hips go back, but no Instagram booties, right? We want everything to be nice and flat, straight line, core is tight. Feel yourself get nice and low and stretch here. Big inhales, big exhales, nice and low. One more deep breath. And rising up, switching all of our weight now into our right leg, left leg kicks up, finding your balance here. All through the belly, nice and tight. We're gonna kick our leg out and bring it right back home. So it's out and in. If you need a little extra support, you have a chair to hold on to, or we can always hold on to our thighs if we need to, keeping it up and back. Challenges to lift as high as we can, but really think about the control. Try not to swing as much as bring your breath into our movement here. It always helps to find something to focus on that's not moving in front of you. So a spot on the wall, something on the floor, a little bit out there. Really find that focal point here. You don't have to look at me. If you're looking at me, you'll probably wobble because I'm wobbling. And hold it straight out. Hold. Feel yourself lift. Feel the quad extend up here. I'm going to have you bend it through. And we're going to reach back to that warrior three. We've seen it already. Find the height that makes you feel strong. Find the height where you can feel balanced and controlled. I keep kicking my table, so that's why I'm flipping around. So keep reaching. Allow yourself to find that balance, bending in the supporting leg. Slowly start to drop the back toes towards the ground. Sit up nice and tall in your low lunge here. Open the shoulders up. Think about turning the hands in towards each other while they're up and back. Really start to feel yourself stretch through the shoulder socket. Slowly lowering the back knee down towards the ground and really feel yourself shift your weight forward into the front leg, opening up through your hip flexor. If you need to put the hands down, you can always put your hands down as well. This is your time. These are your stretches here. Big inhales, big exhales, and bring it back right here. Reach and stretch through the hamstring. So think about that rib cage lifting up and forward. forward as we go over our legs here, opening up through the backside of our body. Give me 2 more deep breaths because it feels good. And next one brings you right back up to that high lunge. Curl back toes underneath. Lift up nice and tall. Very nice and tall here. Really feel yourself. Rock your hips forward to get that hip flexor stretch. I don't know about you guys, but I sit most of my day now, so it's really good to stretch the hip flexors that are always bent in. One more deep breath. Bring your back foot through. Find your chair pose again. Words are hard, but it's almost Friday. You guys have it. Nice and low. Hips go back. Try to tuck the tailbone underneath. Reach nice and tall. We're gonna bring our hands into a prayer pose right here. I'm gonna have you bring your right elbow to your left knee and twist as we're going now. We can also place our left fist into our right hand to increase that twist to the side. Your challenge right here is to not let this knee pop forward. So keep your knees square as we come down and press and twist. I know, quads are on fire. It sucks. You have it. Hold on, just a little bit more. Big inhale, exhale, unwinds. Don't come up. We got left knee to right, or sorry, left elbow to right knee. We go to the other side. Knee check. If one's popping forward, I want you to try to bring them right close together. Top hand presses in to increase that twist. The hips are square back. Weight is in our heels. I know, it sucks. Almost there, guys. One more deep breath. Bring it back through the center. Big inhale up. Exhale, reach down over your toes. So we're just finding a nice stretch here through our hamstrings. I'm gonna have you put your hands out a little bit in front of you and bend all the way down towards the ground. Heels are gonna come up. Bring your hands a little closer to your feet. Press the heels into the ground as we lift our hips up, trying to get a little bit closer this time. Keeping our heels on the ground, trying to extend through the knees, but if not, think about lifting the hips a little bit more so. Let's go 2 more of those. So take it nice and low, feel a stretch, try to walk the hands back, lift the hips to the ceiling. Think about the hips rising and chin to chest. We need one more inhale and exhale here. Lowering down. We got one more try right here, seeing how close we can get that chest to our thighs. And we lift, hips to ceiling. And as we're here, we saw it already. Let's walk our hands out to our high plank. We're just gonna hold a nice high plank. So that means you gotta shift your feet. You can shift your feet too. So high plank, shoulders down away from the ears. Feel everything squeeze right here. Glutes are squeezing, shoulders are down. Options, always take your knees if we need to. I challenge you to try to hold it up here. I know you guys, I know you can hold a plank a little bit longer. Right hand comes into the center. Left hand lifts up to the ceiling, finding your side plank. Option of dropping a knee or dropping an elbow. But we're just gonna hold here. Shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked. I'm gonna take a big inhale up. Exhale, drop the hips towards the floor and do it again. So inhale up, exhale down. So allow yourself to squeeze through the obliques here. Lifting up and lowering down. Feeling the stretch as we come down, the stretch as we go up. And next time we're up at the top, I want you to hold it up. Reach, reach, reach. Breathe, yes. I know, relax the face. I know you're all looking pissed at me. You have it. Lift it up to the top. I'm gonna have you tip a nice big hug to the body and then bring it right back. So hug yourself here and bring it home. If you want, knee comes down or elbow can come down as well. Challenge is just keeping your shoulder over your wrist the entire time. Lift it up to the ceiling, let's hold it. Hands come through the center. Shake out that other hand. Left hand comes into the center. Right lifts up to the sky. We are tall. Nice T position here. So shoulders stacked, hips are stacked. We are lifted. Big inhale, stretch it up and over. Exhale, bring the hips to the ground again. Lift. And bring it down. And you got just a little more to go here, guys. And bring it up to the top, hold it up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hand up to the ceiling. Nice big hug. And bring it back. So give yourself that hug. A little bit of love. You guys know your options. If you need to drop a knee, drop a knee. Maybe 2 more because it feels good. And last one. Hold it up. Reach, reach, reach. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Hands down to the center. Let's hold our high plank one more time. As we're here in this plank, I'm going to have you drop your opposite knee to your opposite elbow and bring it back. Knee to elbow, bring it back. Your next option right here is to make it a kick through. So go knee, kick through, bring it back. Final option, lifting the opposite arm. So the leg that's kicking through, opposite arm lifts up and comes back. Let's up, bring it back. Bring it back. So keeping your hips lifted, finding that nice strong plank in the center, and switching it up. Almost like we're breakdancing. People still doing that? I don't know. Let's go one more each side. Hold it in the center. Right foot to right hand, left foot to left hand. Let's hold a nice low squat. If we're a little higher, we're a little higher. Your challenge is to press the elbows into the knees, getting nice and low, nice flat back, sit tall. If we're up here, we're up here. If we're here, we're here. Find yourself open through the hips, start to rock side to side. I know it's weird. I can't see you guys, so you guys don't look weird. I'm the only one that looks weird. Keep holding. All right, let's bring our glutes down to the ground. So just find yourself sitting down on your bum here. We're gonna sit up nice and tall, finish with a little bit of core work, and then we'll get a nice good stretching and get you out of here. Let's sit up nice and tall. Big inhale to repair. Exhale to round your belly down as much as you can. Then inhale, come right back up. So as if you're getting punched in the stomach, round it and sit up nice and tall. So deep breaths here. Really exaggerate the breath. The exhale as we come down, the inhale as we rise up. And we're gonna start to add a little rotation. So right arm comes back to the right corner, comes right back up, left hand goes back. So really twisting through the torso, trying to get your fingertips all the way to the back corner of your mat, maybe past it. Let's go 2 more. One more each side. And bring it right back in the center. I'm gonna have you go as nice and low as you can. Low, 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 low. We're gonna lift our legs up off the ground. Bring yourself nice and tall without your feet touching the ground. And then get as low as we can through a nice hollow hold here. And then bring it right back up. So coming down and then lifting up. Your option, hands can come behind us if we really need it. One leg comes down at a time. Your goal is to go in these frog hugs right here. Deep breaths, feeling that nice strong contraction through the abdominals as we come down and the relaxation as we come up and hug. Next time we're out of that low point, I want you to hold it and get a nice little kick. Just up and down, nice and quick. Breathe. I know, we're all going through it together. We have it. Kick across this time. It's almost like a scissor kick. And switch it back and forth. 3, 2, 1. Release everything down towards the ground. Hands come up overhead. Allow yourself to reach as far as we can go right here. Chin to chest, hands come up. Let's roll up one vertebrae at a time. Sit up towards the ceiling. Reach up and over, stretch through here. We're gonna come up and we're gonna reverse it. So it comes all the way down. Reach it back. Then bring it all the way up. Core uses no momentum. So we use our abdominals to really place one vertebrae at a time on the way down and try to peel ourselves up one at a time. If you got to use a little momentum, that's okay. This is your day 1. We've been here a few times. Just find how it works for you, what makes you feel strong and successful as we go through. And then I'm going to have you guys lie down on the ground, and we're going to bring our knees into our chest, make a nice tight ball here. Rock out side to side. Give yourself that nice little recovery. We have just a few more abdominal exercises. Then we get your stretch. So it's coming, guys. So lift the head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground. Right leg kicks out. We pulse the left in 2 times, then we switch. So it's pulse, pulse, and switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. So each leg is stretching here. So the leg that we're pulling in, we're really getting a nice stretch through our glutes and our hips. And then the other leg's extending out through the hip flexor. Hands can come behind the head. Keep that pulse going. And we're going to make it a crisscross. So the opposite shoulder goes to the opposite knee. As we're doing this here, a lot of times everyone wants to keep it here. I challenge you to keep the elbows open and try to get the shoulders to lead the way. So still thinking that same single leg stretch, the leg that kicks out, but the opposite shoulder is moving forward. You need 2 more. 1 more each side. Bring both knees into your chest. Give that nice hug again. We're going to start to rock and roll back. Try to stick it at the top of that, our feet touching the ground. And do it again. So it's rock back. Sit it up and stick it. A few more times. Give me just about 3 more. Because it feels good. Your challenge right here. 1 at a time here. Or lifting it up. And holding it at the top. Wherever you're at, shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to release our hands from our legs and find our boat pose. So that is a nice V sit right here. Allow yourself to find your good posture, nice and tall. And I'm going to challenge you this week, we're going to go for 5 V-ups. So we're going to lay all the way down to the ground and then come back to this boat pose. So it's going to look like this. We're going to go all the way down, come right back up. Try for 5. If that means you need to make it a sit up with your feet on the ground, that's okay. But you got 5 right here over the next couple seconds. Use your breath. Feel nice and strong as we go through here. Feet can come down. I know, this is the suckiest part of class. It's the end, we're tired, we're almost there. Once you get your 5, I want you to hold that boat pose. Hold it nice and strong. Tell yourself yes. I don't care if you say you hate me, you're all muted anyways. Keep holding. Lower down, 1 inch at a time. Nice and low, nice and low. Release everything out, stretch it out here. You guys did it. Hardest part's over. Now we reward it with just a little bit of a stretch. So right knee comes into our chest. Left leg stays straight or can bend. And give yourself some love here, grabbing above or below the knee or behind the thigh. Extending out through our right leg, extend it up to the ceiling, grabbing ankle or behind the thigh or behind the calf. Avoid grabbing right on the knee. So find where that stretch goes. Bend the knee into our chest. And now bring it across our body here so we get a nice stretch to the IT band. So through the glutes. Your shoulders are both staying on the ground. So try not to let everything crawl to the side, that we stay out nice and strong. Knee comes back into our chest, and then we're gonna open up our hips here. So bringing your right knee to your right shoulder. Bring it back to the center, switch it out. Other leg comes in, so left leg into the chest. Give it just as much love as the first leg. And extending out through our hamstrings. So feet can come up to the ceiling. One leg's gonna be more flexible than the other, that's okay. My left leg doesn't feel like it goes anywhere, so I don't know about you guys. So we never wanna bounce with it. We always wanna breathe through our stretches. Knee comes into chest, bring it across midline. Feel that stretch to the IT band, maybe down through our back as well. Hopefully, if we get a crack, it's a good crack here. Yeah, just a few more minutes to go, guys. Knee comes back into our chest, and we open it up to our left shoulder. Bring it back into the center. Right leg comes to meet it. And we're gonna bring both knees up to our same shoulders, grabbing the inside of our calves, ankles, heels, or big toes, and finding ourselves in our happy baby, rocking side to side. So that means we're down here, or we can bring it up. However that feels good for us. Trying to open up through the groin, the inner thighs. Make sure you're breathing, especially if your stretches are uncomfortable. Please breathe through them. It'll help you get through it a little bit quicker. Knees come back in. We're going to drop our feet down towards the ground. Hands come next to the glutes, and we're going to lift our hips to the ceiling. So going through a glute bridge, I'm going to ask that you bring your elbows in and your hands underneath your hips to open up through our hip flexors here. So we're squeezing the glutes to lift, but we're also opening up through the hip flexors. Deep breaths as we're here, slowly lower down. Feet go a little bit wider than hip width, and we're just going to windshield wiper our hips. This is a good one to practice for our hip mobility too. So if we're squatting or doing things that we feel like we're a little limited through our hips, this is a really good stretch for us to do, trying to bring our knees down towards the floor on both sides. And when you're ready, we're going to bring our knees in. We're going to roll up, sit up nice and tall. Legs come out in front of us here. So a few more minutes. Take a big inhale up. And I want you to lift the rib cage. And I want you to try to reach up over your toes as far as we can go. So as you're here, a lot of times people just want to round their head down to their knees. The challenge is lift the rib cage and take it up and off your body so the rib cage goes past the knees. Feel yourself extend out through the hips, go posterior chain. Everything's working for us. Sit up nice and tall. Right leg crosses over the left. Give it a nice hug in tight here. So as you're here, feel yourself, hips go into the ground, stretching through our glute of the leg that's crossed over. So I know not a lot of you have home gyms, but you've been doing some online workouts, and it's a lot of squats and burpees and all of that. So I'm pretty sure everyone's glutes are super tight. So a really good glute stretch right here as well. And then we're going to change it up to make it a keyhole stretch. So we're going to bend the leg that's on the ground. Top knee comes in. And I want you to press away from the knee that's here to get even a deeper stretch in your glutes. These two plus your pigeon stretch is going to be really good for you, especially if you're doing a lot of squats at home. Just a little more to go. Let's switch it out. Bring it all out. Left leg crosses over. Hug it in nice and tight. So challenging yourself to stay up nice and tall. Remember that I can't see your faces, so I'm just kind of talking to a wall. My cat's not even here to talk to. Bring it back in. And open up the hips there. What's up, Nick? Hi. Opening up the hips here. I was taking Jordan's band class right before this, and it was like a dance class with like a hip circle. And let's bring everything in. Let's find yourself in a butterfly here. Elbows pressing the inner thighs. But anyways, I had my camera on, and Jordan yelled at me that I was on my phone during the class because I was recording things. So I was like, okay, maybe it's better that people turn their cameras off because I'd be calling people out too. All right, couple more stretches right here, guys. We're gonna come up nice and tall. Take a nice big inhale up. We're gonna bring our right hand to pat ourselves on the back. Left hand grabs onto our elbow, and we're gonna stretch over to the left side. So this will come down through our tricep, down through our lats. Bring up to the ceiling. Left hand to the back, right hand to the elbow, other side. Just breathing into our stretches here, guys. Bring it up to the center. I'm going to have you clasp your fingertips, reach nice and tall. Stretch it forward, and I want you to protract your shoulders so that you feel a stretch through your shoulder blades. Really bring your palms all the way to me. And then we're going to reverse that, bringing our elbows back and down. And I want you to think about bringing them back behind, trying to get the elbows to touch here. So you're going to open up through the chest. We spend most of our day like this or like this. So it's really good to open everything up, working our posture here. Your other challenge, if you'd like to, grab the hands behind and open everything up there. So whatever works for your shoulders. And drop it all down. Give me a couple shoulder rolls to the back right here. So big shoulder roll back. And bring it forward. All right, y'all, you got 2 inhales and 2 exhales, and we're out of here. So big inhale up. And exhale. Last one, biggest one of the day, of the week. And shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Great job, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming. If you have any feedback at all, you guys know where to find me. You all know me. So thank you so much. Thanks, Derek.
Thanks, Kels.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.